The people, the headlines, the issues impacting you and your family this week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
Good morning and welcome to This Week in Cincinnati. I'm Kristen Hartman. First today, school security and how to protect our children. It is an issue every school district is grappling with. In Butler County, there is a plan for some, but not all school districts to work together on this important subject matter. The proposal calls for a new property tax that would pay for physical security, such as new school entrances. It would also help students themselves with mental health services and additional school resource officers. The levy request is from the Butler County Educational Service Center. The $1.5 million issue would run for 10 years. Joining us to talk about all of this are Chris Brown, the superintendent of the Butler County Educational Service Center, and Billy Smith, the superintendent of Fairfield Schools. We want to thank you for being here. And just for folks at home who might not know what the Educational Service Center is, can you give us a definition of what it does and who it serves?
Sure. Educational Service Centers, there's 52 in the state of Ohio. Some of them serve multiple districts. Ours, we serve all the districts in Butler County, all 10 districts. We team up with the school districts as well as other government agency and community groups to provide a wide range of services from Head Start, preschool, all the way up through alternative education for high school students. We also provide the education for the students in the JDC, JRC in Butler County as well. So
you are pushing for this levy. Why?
We are, we provide services to our districts. This was a service that was allowed by legislators in the last year to educational service centers in the past have been able to levy funds for things like mental health services, district-wide or county-wide, as well as infrastructure. Our districts asked us to investigate a new part of that law which says you can do it for school security, which we did, and we have 6 of the 10 districts signed aboard to be a part of our levy.
Superintendent, as one of the school districts that would be participating, how would you use the levy funds?
Well, Kristen, you mentioned a few of the things, some of the things that are at the top of our list. First and foremost are school resource officers. We have 11 buildings, and so at the top of that priority list would be to provide each of our schools with its own school resource officer.
So you don't have a school resource officer at every school right now?
We do not. We currently have 2 in our district. One serves full-time at our high school, and our other one splits time between our 2 middle schools.
Okay, and would they be armed?
Yes, they would be armed.
Okay.
Yes.
So school resource officers, what else?
Well, a couple things. One, you also mentioned mental health services, and that is something that was a priority for our district this past year and is going to continue to be a priority for us in the future. And so we are really interested in that aspect of this levy, the fact that we can use that revenue to provide some supports and services to our students in that particular area.
How is schooling different today than it was, say, 30 years ago? You know, because we didn't have this conversation 30 years ago. We have to have it now because of things that are happening around the country, clearly. But what are you seeing at your level that can tell voters we really think this is justified to ask for this levy and then to use it?
Sure, absolutely. And just those 2 particular areas we've already talked about. Providing a safe and secure learning environment is our most important priority. To provide that for our kids and our families. We want our families to feel good and to feel that their child is going to be safe when they drop him or her off for school in the morning or when that child gets on that bus. So that's something that has evolved over time. And then also we talk about all the time how as a school district we need to continue to evolve as our students evolve and society evolves. We are now dealing with situations in our schools and with our students and their families that just weren't that common in the past. Just social media alone and the impact that it has on our kids.
Sure. Like bullying?
Yes, like bullying.
Let's talk a little bit about bullying. How would this levy help on that turf?
Well, I think this levy, with the mental health part, the unique thing about this is it allows each district to address the needs in their district. So it's not one broad approach to everything. Students in one district could have different needs than others, but the mental health part is a big part of that, and being able to deal with the kids on a one-on-one basis with professional mental health people would be key to addressing bullying and a lot of those mental health issues that we see in all of our districts now.
What's the opt-in? How many districts have said, yes, we would like to be a part of this?
There's 6 in. Edgewood, Fairfield, Hamilton, Monroe, New Miami, and Ross are the 6 that have elected to join.
And for those who would opt out, why?
Well, I think each district, anytime a district runs a levy, they have to look at their unique community needs. We have a few districts who, to be quite honest, are financially set. They don't need the additional money. And each district looks at each one as their own unique characteristics, and those 4 districts have elected not to be a part.
Is there precedent for this? Are there other districts that have done this? And if so, why and how successful has it been?
There's one on the ballot in August. Stark County is the first ESC to put it on the ballot in the state of Ohio, and they have 15 of their 22 districts that they serve on board, and that'll be the first one that'll be voted on in the state of Ohio.
What would this cost homeowners? Because that's going to be a big question, and I'll get to my next question after that.
It would vary for each district. It'd be a 1.5 mils. Whatever that district generates at 1.5 mils would go directly back. So there's no mixing of funds. Whatever that district raises goes directly back to that district. So 1.5 mil in Fairfield is different than what 1.5 mil raises in Edgewood. So it would be different for each district.
But in our district, it would generate $2.1 million per year, and for the owner of a $100,000 home, the cost would be $52.50 per year.
Have you had parents ask you, what is this all about? And when they do ask you, what do you tell them?
Sure. So at our last board meeting, myself and our treasurer, Nancy Lane, did a presentation to our Board of Education. There were a few parents and community members there as well. We have found that the most important question is parents want to know, what will we get?
Sure.
And so that's why I've talked about the SROs and the mental health services. We are also, as a district, undergoing a security vulnerability assessment in early August. So we have a long list of things that we are considering.
Potentially new entrances.
Yes, or
things of that nature.
Increasing the security around those entrances.
Sure.
But we want to see what the results of that assessment that we have planned in early August. We want to get those results to help us prioritize our plan moving ahead. But definitely SROs is something that we are committed to, and also exploring additional resources and supports that we can get for our students and their families in the mental health area.
All right, gentlemen, this is certainly an issue that WCPO will be following both on air and online. We really appreciate you joining us this morning to talk about it and to educate people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You bet.
Thank you.